yeah, this is gonna be good. Yep. Yeah. There we go. Oh boy. Oh, this is gonna be amazing. Oh, hey, I didn't see you over there. My name is Mr. Sketchy. I'm an artist who's been traveling all across this land, doing his art and making a living, having adventures. Doing odd jobs. Just exploring and learning about the land. But come time for me to retire, so I've decided I'm going to pass on all of my sketchy secrets to you people on YouTube. So anyway, I'm going to show you how to sketch some things while I cook my beans, and yeah, we're going to have a really good time. So get ready, get out your paper and pencil, and it's time to get sketchy with Mr. Sketchy. All right. Alright, all you're gonna need today is a pencil and some paper. And that's it. So go grab those and let's get started. Alright, so today we're covering drawing basics. This is gonna be very basic information. I'm gonna teach you about the Mr. Sketchy way of sketching. This is a multi-step process. Step number 1 is going to be the sketching phase, which is my favorite. I'm gonna call this plan. So we're just going to be kind of planning out what we draw. And when we plan, we want to draw lightly to make it easy to erase if we need to correct, basically. So it's really important to practice drawing lightly. You just want to draw light enough that you can see it. Step number 2 is going to be to actually draw it in with a fully dark stroke. So for step 2, you're going to draw dark. So you need to practice being able to draw light and dark. Step 3 is going to be to make it look 3D, and that's going to be shade. So we want to add light and shadow to make the objects look three-dimensional. This is a key part of making them look three-dimensional. And 4 is clean up. And this is erasing any extra sketching lines, any smudges you don't want, anything like that. It's just to clean everything up nicely. Alright, so we're going to start by drawing some spheres. Spheres always look like circles no matter what angle you look at them from. You look at them from the top, the side, at an angle, they're always going to look like circles. So we're going to practice by doing some planning strokes and lightly draw some circles. By the end of this, you're going to do a half a page of circles. So maybe just start drawing in the upper half of your paper, lightly drawing in some circles. And you don't have to get it perfect in the first stroke. You can go back over it. You can adjust it. When you find a good sort of plan you want to follow, then you can draw in the lines dark, like this. Alright, so just draw a bunch of circles, and then we're going to pick one to draw in dark. Now, we go on to the shade step. So for the shade step, we got the sun up here, and it's shining light down. We want to think about where the light's hitting and where it's not. So we want to draw these rays of sunshine coming out of the sun here and hitting our sphere. It just looks like a circle now, but when we shade it, it's going to look three-dimensional. Now here's a line that divides the part of the sphere that's getting hit by the light and the part that's not getting hit. So that yellow area, that's the light area. On the other side of that, we're going to have a shade. We're going to have a shadow. So that line is called the Terminator Line. And everything on the dark side of it is going to be pretty much the same tone. There's a little bit of variation, but for our purposes now, we want it to be pretty much the same tone. We're just going to shade that in. You can think about like the moon. When it's in different phases, it has the light coming from different directions, and it looks the same. I'm going to use the tip of my pencil to get a little darker. Use the side of my pencil to shade, but then when you want to go real dark, you got to roll it up onto the tip. So when we shade a curved surface, we're going to use what's called a gradient. A gradient is like a transition from dark to light. And it's supposed to be gradual, see? So I don't want to see clear separation between like my dark tones and my medium tones and my light tones. I want to see a gradual transition like this. So over on my sphere right now, I've got a pretty clean demarcation between the light and the dark side. So I want to make a gradient there. So I'm going to slowly shade softer and softer as I transition over to the light side. This transition happens pretty quickly, but you want it to be smooth. And I'm smudging a little bit with my finger. That's okay. You can use lots of things to smudge. You can use a tortillon, which is a rolled up paper. You can use old cigar butts that you find at the train station. You can use your finger. A finger's always with you, you know, so that's a good thing to use. All right, we're trying to get a nice gradation. I'm going to try to keep everything pretty basic, so I'm not going to work it too much. But if you want to, you can continue to kind of push and smooth this out. All right, so next we're going to draw some cubes. I'm going to draw these cubes by starting with a square, and then I'm going to draw another square a little up and to the right, sort of diagonally. You've probably used this method to draw a cube before, I hope, so you might be familiar with it. Again, I want to keep my lines light. I draw a little darker for the camera so it'll pick things up, but you should draw even lighter than I am. So yeah, we're just kind of planning. So we're not going to necessarily keep all the lines at the back of the cube, but we draw them in for the planning phase. And then we can erase them later. So once you get practice drawing cubes, you might not even need to draw that back square in anymore. But for now, I'm showing you how to do it. Alright. There's another line that connects the bottom left corner, but I'm not drawing that in because I know I'm going to erase it anyway. So practice drawing these cubes. Just kind of, again, just sticking to the planning phase, just kind of sketch them in lightly. And I'm going to have you do a half page eventually, so just keep sketching them in. And you can skip drawing the back once you get comfortable, whatever is good for you. Everybody's practice should be different. And here's, I'm going to demo drawing a full cube. So I start with the planning phase here. Sketch that all in. And then I'm going to go to the drawing phase. So again, this is all done lightly. We want to plan very lightly so we don't, so we can erase it easily. Now we're going to move on to the drawing step. So I'm going to go in and I'm going to draw dark edges with my pencil. Do-do-do. Drawing dark edges. Trimming the hedges into big squares. Okie dokie. Oh yeah, we gotta get this back edge. There we go. And now I'm going to shade this one too. Actually, I'm going to erase this out first. So that back square is being mostly covered up by the front and the top and the side. Alright, so let's imagine Mr. Sun again. I'm going to draw a little face on him and give him some character. That stupid old sun. That stupid sun is always making Mr. Sketchy too hot, giving him sunburns, all sorts of problems. You know, but the rain might be worse, I don't know. Okay, he's shooting his beams of light out of his little sunny face into the cube here. Now, for our cubes, we need to think about like how much light is hitting each surface. So, I also am going to shade a little different. So for shading flat surface, I'm going to use flat shading. Flat shading for flat surfaces, gradient for curved surfaces. The flat shading is just going to be all a consistent tone all throughout the surface. Alright, so this side I think is getting kind of a medium amount of light. So I'm going to do a medium tone. We're going to imagine the sun's coming from kind of the side. So there's a little bit of light that's hitting the side here. Not much, but a little bit. So it's going to be kind of a medium amount of shading. So it should look kind of gray. And then this side we're going to put in the shadow, so we're going to make it darker. I'm using the side of my pencil. This allows me to kind of shade larger areas faster, makes things quicker. To get really dark shading, you're going to need to roll up onto the tip of that pencil, a little less surface area. But that's just for getting real dark spots or details inside the shadows. Alright, so here's your assignment for the week. You're going to draw 1/2 page of circles, of just sketching circles. So light circles. So it's really important that you practice drawing light. It's one of the fundamental things you need to be able to control is the pressure of your pencil there. And then you're going to do a 1/2 page of light cubes. I'll underline that again. Let's say boxes. They don't have to be perfect with cubes. They're just boxes. That's fine. If they're a little off cubic, I don't think it matters that much. I mean, try to do a cube if you want. But if they're a little off, it's no big deal. And then you're going to draw in and shade at least one of the spheres and at least one of the cubes. If you have time, do more. It's really important that you realize early on that your practice is individual for you. It's like going to the gym, or so I've heard. You don't want to be doing the same thing as everybody else. You want to be doing something that challenges you personally, and that's how you grow as an artist. Don't forget to do a gradient when you shade the spheres, and flat shading when you shade the box. If you find one of them harder than the other, you might practice that one a little bit more. Again, you got to tailor this practice to you. So 1/2 page of light circles, 1/2 page of light boxes, and then draw in and shade at least one sphere and at least one box. Alright? And that should be some good practice for this week. Alright, I think that's all the drawing I've got to do today. So let's check on my beans. Hold on just one last thing. There we go. Just a little longer. Hey, wow. Wasn't that amazing, kids? That was really some top quality instruction, if you ask me. I might be a little biased. I hope you liked the video. And I know you did because it was good. If you did, which I know you did, I can't obtain traditional YouTube streams because of my on-the-road lifestyle. What I'd like you to do, though, is please take $5 and put it in this old coffee can. I'm going to put it under the bush behind the old abandoned Shoney's. So the Shoney's restaurant. Go to the Shoney's and put $5 into this old can for Mr. Sketchy. Seal it up, stick it back under the bush. Hide it really good, okay? I don't need people stealing my video money, you know what I mean? Alright. Anyway, kids, I'll see you next time. And practice that drawing. And thank you very much. Mr. Sketchy, out.